Although they receive little attention, seagrass meadows are one of the most productive ecosystems in the world. They are often confused with seaweed, yet they are more closely related to the flowering plants you see on land, with roots, flowers, and seeds. Seagrass has been providing a marine habitat for species since the dinosaurs walked the earth, and have evolved to thrive where few other plants could survive, from the tropics to the Arctic. They support coastal communities and livelihoods around the world, especially the Maldives.
Seagrasses are just grass that grow in the ocean, right? Wrong. The name seagrass can be very misleading because they're not actually grass, and their closest terrestrial relatives are lilies and orchids. And therefore it's very easy for us to underestimate the importance of seagrass. So we have traveled south to Six Senses Laamu so we can explore their meadows.
So seagrass has had a bad PR in the Maldives. In fact, the tourism ministry guideline says that tourism and seagrass cannot coexist. So for years, we have been removing seagrass from our lagoons to create that turquoise blue water. But if you look at seagrass as an ecosystem and for the ecosystem services it provides, seagrass is actually quite amazing. It's a feeding ground for a lot of big animals like turtles. It's a nursery ground for a lot of commercially important fish, and it also actually helps protect our coastlines. So yeah, seagrass is actually very, very important for small island communities like us here in the Maldives.
I work with the Olive Ridley project. We protect and conserve sea turtles and their habitats in the Indian Ocean. And seagrass is such an important habitat for these endangered species, especially the green sea turtles. Seagrass is their #1 source of food. They're actually the vegetarians of the turtle species, and that's how they get their name, the green sea turtle. Seagrass are such an important habitat for so many different species, and by feeding on them, the green sea turtles are actually making sure that we have healthy seagrass populations. And that in turn enables us to have much better carbon sinks in the ocean, much better juvenile nurseries for tiny fishes and sharks and so many things. So a lot of things are dependent on the seagrass, and the sea turtle is there to keep things in check.
In 2019, Six Senses partnered with Blue Marine Foundation to launch the Protect Maldives Seagrass campaign, and it was super successful. We reached out to all the resorts across the Maldives, and we managed to persuade 37 of them, which is almost a quarter of the resorts in the Maldives, to protect their seagrass. And thanks to that campaign, over 1 million square meters of seagrass has been pledged as protected across the whole country.
Known as the lungs of the sea, a single square meter of seagrass releases as much as 10 liters of oxygen per day. Only covering 0.2% of the sea floor, they absorb 10% of the ocean's carbon each year, making them an incredible tool in the fight against climate change. Yet, they are among the world's most threatened ecosystems, the biggest threats being pollution from agriculture, habitat destruction, and tourism.
Everything is interconnected, and seagrasses as the foundation of many of the marine ecosystems here. You have crabs and snails that live on the seagrass, different fish eat the seagrass, and other animals come to eat the things that live on the seagrass, and this goes all the way up to sharks and apex predators, also stingrays and turtles. So the seagrasses are really the foundation of a lot of these food webs.
It is not just the green turtles responsible for the health of the seagrass. Many sharks and rays benefit from the ecosystem services seagrasses provide, and in turn help them to thrive. Sharks help regulate trophic levels, maintain ecosystem stability, and protect and enhance blue carbon by limiting grazing on seagrass meadows, particularly those affected by warming sea temperatures. So as it turns out, sharks are one of the seagrass's best allies in the fight to survive.
I love seagrass. I used to spend a lot of time on the reef and researching corals as well. But since I've been working here at Six Senses Laamu, I actually spend the most of my time in the seagrass meadows. And it's so exciting for me because little is known about seagrass in Maldives. So every single time I go there, I might find a species that's not been recorded here before.
Species in all marine ecosystems are facing threats of a changing environment. We are just beginning to understand the importance of seagrass habitats. The same could be said of sharks. It's time to coexist.